Being who we are, I have to ask this question about accounting and your accounting process. And I want to ask you from the standpoint of, because you've had a nice kind of long journey from just pure startup to a company of pretty good size now. I imagine that your relationship as the CEO operator with the accounting and the finance work has changed over time in terms of how the company does it and in terms of your own relationship with how it's done. Can you speak to that a little bit? How that part of the entrepreneurial journey goes?
Yeah, I think when we were first starting out, we were very, we're still frugal, but our needs weren't as complex. And so we used an accountant that was a sole proprietor and just a one-man shop. And as we grew, it became apparent that we needed an accounting firm that could handle a lot of our business needs, and then as well as some of my personal needs, whether it's investing in a opportunity zone property last year, or things like that, that has a lot of complexity to deal with the tax credits and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So it's, again, similar to EO being the holistic person. I think an accounting firm, one of the things that an entrepreneur needs to evaluate is how can they look at your whole picture of your life, not just your company. So I think that's been really key. And then what I was talking about with Keely, she's now stepping into that financial realm more and more. We've hired a couple more. We used to have a finance department of one person, and then I was doing all the strategic finance because of my background. And I'm still doing a little bit of that, but we're now shifting systems from QuickBooks to a more enterprise level version that's integrated across our billing platform, like how we collect hours from employees and all kinds of things integrated into all kinds of things. So there has been a shift, and it's kind of giving up control and giving up in some ways power. But I think the more there's this weird, unintuitive, I think, universal law that the more power you give away, the more it kind of comes back to you in a different form. So so I found that with leadership, and I think it's been true, and it's really helped us with like I said, the partnership that I have with Keely, and as well as some of these new leaders on the financial front that we're bringing into the fold.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, we're nearing the end of the show today, but I always like to ask, is there anything I should have asked or could have asked that I didn't?
No, I thought about that question. No, I mean, I'd turn it back on you. Like, what have you not told your audience that they'd want to know about you, Ty?
Oh, that's a great question. Well, I don't know. I try to be out there and be transparent about me as much as I can. I'm looking out the window right now at my garden, so the only thing I can think of is I'd rather be gardening than in the office working right now.
Yeah.
But I think my audience might guess that. They've seen me do some videos from the garden, so they might already know that.
That's cool. Yeah. No, I thank you so much for having me on the show, and looking forward to amplifying the message to my audience with this podcast.
Yeah, and your podcast again?
Cause and Effect.
Thank you. And we'll put a link to that down in the comment section, or the notes for the show if people want to go check that out. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks everybody. Ty. And we will see you guys in the next show or the next segment.